All right, welcome everyone. This is Noelle Cruz, Presidential Diamond with It Works Global. You guys, this is our very first team call of 2017. I am so excited. So, my amazing sister, Presidential Diamond Jamie Hughes, is always finding great stuff on YouTube for personal development that we can share with you guys. So just like we did last week, we are going to kick off this Zoom with a short video. So sit tight. We're going to screen share for a second. If I can figure out how to screen share. There it is.
Whatever you're doing, stop doing what you're doing. I got a question for you, all right? What do you want? It's real simple. What do you want? All right, and this going to hurt a little bit. It's going to hurt a little bit. How far will your will take you this year? How far will your will take you this year? Because there's some things in life you're not going to get. They're not coming to you. You got to go take it. There's some stuff that you can't even just earn by doing the good thing, doing the right. Listen to me. There's some stuff, if you're going to get it, you got a will to get it. Listen to me very closely. It's not going to happen with you in the bed dreaming about it. It's not going to happen with you in the shower thinking about it. Sometimes you just got to will it. When you're not as smart as other people and you can't intellectualize yourself there, you got to will it. Listen to me. When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, when you ain't got nothing left in your tank, you got to think about the people in your life that you're doing this for. And then if you can think about them, you can go one more mile. You can go one more day at work. Listen to me. When you're doing it for somebody else, when you like that lion, if I don't grind, if we don't grind, if I don't grind, they don't eat. I wish I could tell you something else. I wish I could tell you you're tired, go take a break. I wish I could tell you tired, rest for a year. I wish I could tell you that it's going to get easier. I wish I could tell you it's going to get easier. I wish I could tell you that if you just keep going, it's going to get lighter. The weight is going to get lighter. I wish I could tell you that, but that's not the truth. The truth is you got to find something within. And that's got to elevate you. And that's got to drive you. And that's got to move you. And when you find out what your why is, when you find your why, you find a way to make it happen. But what, every time I get to an obstacle, I tell it, I will outwill you. I will not give up. I will not surrender. I will not quit. This is your year. Are you hearing me?
Have you ever thought about something you wanted to do and you talk yourself out of it? The goals that you right now have, the things that you have envisioned for yourself, this is a reflection, what you've done thus far and what you are engaged in doing. It's what's possible for you right now. But there's even more. You don't even know what's in the future. It's possible. I can do this. I can make this happen. No matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, I'm going to make it. Say that to yourself every day. Feed your mind with words that you write and words that you hear and words that you speak to yourself. Feed your faith. If you believe in yourself, if you constantly remind yourself after every defeat, after every setback, every time you get knocked down, I've got to say, if life knocks you down, try and land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. You will fail your way to success. I think it's time to revisit and look at your goals and dreams, and let's raise the bar. Do you really want to win?
All right. Jamie, that was amazing. I feel like that one little video had about 15 profound personal development things in it that we have to internalize in order to be successful in this business. And one of the things they talked about was if you want it more than if you want it as much as you want to breathe, you're going to be successful, right? And that actually reminded me of a story that I read the other day, and I really wanted to share that with you guys, but I really want to make sure that our host is not here because I'm totally killing time until she hops on. And she was supposed to text me. So sit tight. Oh, she's here. Okay, so I want to read you guys a story, but I want you to hear from this ambassador instead. So we have a very special guest with us on today, and you guys, she has taken some time out of her crazy busy schedule to sew into you guys and answer some questions today. Oh, goodness gracious. Hold on. I've got some feedback. So I have Ambassador Diamond Tina Hatcliff on with us today. So Tina, are you there? Do I need to unmute you? Give me just a second. Hold on. I'm unmuting you. Hey, Tina, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. I made it home after a crazy morning. Made it to the gym. I had to go get my car tags. Just walked in the door and so excited to be on here with your team, Noelle. Gosh, 2017. I can't believe it's here.
I know. This is crazy. I feel like the last year has just zoomed by. So, Tina, tell for those people who are new or who haven't heard your story, tell everyone who you are and where you're from and how long you've been in the business.
Oh my gosh. I'm almost ready to click on 9 years. The first week of February will be 9 years for me. I can't believe it. I can't believe it's gone this quick. I look back and it just still seems like yesterday, but I'm in Murfreesboro, Tennessee area. I got invited to a wrap party by one of my good friends. And I will tell you, I was very negative about it all, but I was curious and I thought it was cheap enough. And if it did what it said, I was going to spend that money and go check it out. I never imagined me ever doing network marketing, the furthest thing from anything in my vision. I had never done it before. And coming into this, loving the product so much, I thought, wow, if it worked for me, it's got to work for others. Let's just check this out, make a little cash. From day one, because of my husband, I set the goal that I was going to make a house payment. And I think that's what really pushed me to stay, not give up. Even when it was going down, you just kept getting back up. And I'm telling y'all, 9 years ago is a whole different world from what it is right now. Our kits were $2.99. They didn't have in it what you had. We didn't even know what the word steps to success. We had not even got a diamond chart when I first got in. So it was really tough, but I needed to make that $800 house payment because we were really at a time struggling in our life. And I did that. And I made diamond in 4 months, y'all. And it was just from hard work, consistent, not quitting. I think a lot of us now, we come in and I don't know what's happened to the world now that we think we should be given something for doing so little. And back then our work ethic was work as hard as you can and you will get to that goal, but you still had to have that goal. And I know last night we were doing dream boards. Many of you have already done them. Many of you are going to do them. It is huge. That is a big part of this business. Because in 9 years, I've seen a lot of things that I hope none of you ever have to see in this business. Because the company was still growing. They didn't know what we needed and how to get there. Our internet our website was one page. I mean, it's taken years for us to have what I call the perfect vehicle. And I call it that because I feel like we were, It Works kids before were like the used vehicle. Now we got the top of the line with everything in it. And there's no reason you can't be successful unless you just don't put effort in it. And because people, I don't know what it is. We want to lay on the couch and make a couple of clicks on the phone and think we're going to make money. And all of you out there, you are running a multi-million-dollar business. I mean, you really are. And you will be a millionaire and you will make that million as long as you treat it like a full-time business. You can still make it part-time, but depending on how quick you want to get there. But you can't complain, I didn't make anything or my business is not working, unless you can look back and see that you're running this like a full-time business. You know, how many hours are you putting in? And honestly, leadership grows from the day you get in here. The people complaining, the fussing, that is part of growing a big business. And, you know, some days we don't like that kind of stuff, but you know what? You're not going to get paid for anything else the way you do. So you go out there and you run it like that multi-million-dollar business, because you're going to get there. You know, me in 2017, I was trying to think what I wanted to talk about today and some things I want to touch on, and y'all can ask me questions here in a minute. But I was thinking, so many people walked out of 2016 going, oh my gosh, I'm so glad it's over. That was the worst year I've ever had. Da, 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 da. You know, it was election year. There was a lot of things piled against us in many ways in 2016. But I look back and yeah, my check wasn't where I would have liked for it to have been in 2016. But I still think, oh my gosh, for everything that happened and all the people that fell out and all the people that thought the grass was greener somewhere else, which they still think it, some of them do. But let me tell you, they're going to mow it even more over there. They don't have a company that's been built solid like this. They don't have people that care so much. You know, I have watched in my years products go down. Yeah, the Fat Fighter's going to $25. Will be $2. I mean, I watched Confianza used to be $30 and then it went to $25. Near You used to be $59. It went to $49. This is not a company out there gouging to get every cent they can get. You know, whatever it costs for them to process, they're trying to make that where they can pay you that full BB on everything they can. And this company always pays you, and they pay you more, and they keep throwing out stuff when other companies don't. So people may jump and go somewhere else. I applaud every one of you for staying, you know, because you are at the right place. And there's people going to try to take their fishing pole and throw it out and lure you to somewhere else. But let me tell you, all of those that I have personally talked to, they got lured away. The ones I personally talked to, they made a mistake. And once you leave, you lose all your credibility and you'll never get it back to where you were when you left. Mm-hmm. You can, and you got to completely wash the plate and start all over, because you lose the credibility from team. Even your upline were like, yeah, they're one of these that jumped ship, and you don't get us 100% no more, because we're like, yeah, they'll do it again. Stick with what you got, y'all. I mean, 2016, I went through a lot of challenges. You know, I prayed for a year for something to happen with my mom. In the situation we were in, she lived like an hour and a half away, and it was really, really tough on me taking care of her, driving back. And I kept praying, God, you know, when it's time for me to do something, you're going to let me know. And it happened to be my retreat in the end of October. I get a call and says, you know, we've got someone wanting to buy your mom's house if you're still interested. Now, we've had her house on the market over a year. And I'm like, oh my God, that was my sign. God just sent me a sign that it's time to do something. I just didn't specify. Let's don't go through my entire holiday. So I spent my entire December moving my mom, and we've got her in a camper now. And we're getting ready to build her a tiny house on her land. But, you know, God does answer your prayers. You don't know when, and if you don't specify. But it took my whole end of the year, other things that was happening in our life, and I feel like I did not give myself 100% to my business. I mean, I just couldn't squeeze anything else in some months. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the year, still, only income that me and Bubba has. We were debt-free at one time, and then we ventured out and built this huge dream house. We call it Bubba Wood. So we have more debt than, honestly, I've ever had. I mean, because this house payment's far bigger than the one that we paid off and paid all our debts. And to come in a year like this when everybody just feels like they're dying, you know, we made it through this year with It Works. And it was the residual income that we built from the hard work in that 8 years that we built this. So no matter where you are right now, you may be a distributor going, wow, I'm ready for that big check. Just know, if you work hard and you always believe, I think that's the hardest part that I see with network marketing, because you are your own boss and we can't make you clock in and we can't make you clock. Well, you seem to be clocking out all the time sometimes, but we can't make you clock in. You've got to clock in, y'all. You've got to work this business. It will work for you. It's not, it works. It's not the products. It's you. You're the one that's lacking. And lots of times it's right here. And we all go through this. I know Noelle and myself, we go through this where we're like, gosh, is it us? What are we doing wrong? I feel like I'm just done. We go through that. That's just part of running your own business. And not every day's the same. You have to constantly refocus on something. Now we're refocusing on a new shake. We're refocusing on getting distributors and getting those tickets in for whatever Mark's going to do. It's a constant change. So you've all got to stay plugged into the changes. And Noelle, y'all are so blessed to have Noelle as your leader. She's always there. And I've seen her so many times. Her hand is always out. But she can't go knocking on all your doors. She just has her hand out, and you have to come grab it when you need it. And she will guide you, coach you, lead you. She just can't do it for you. And that's what you have to work on. And you have to say in 2017, what I wrote down on those goals, what I put on that dream board, I'm going to make that stuff happen. Yeah, my dream board wasn't completely done, everything I put on it. But even in the year that we've all had, I go back and I could check off so many things on that dream board that truly happened that I didn't even realize what an amazing year 2016 really was, because we sometimes forget to appreciate the little things. We're looking for the biggest picture out there, and we forget that those little things add up to the big things. And until you appreciate those little things, God's not going to keep blessing you with bigger ones. So right now, look back on 2016, find the good things. And I know you all had at least one. You know, if you're new in the company, oh my gosh, you were blessed with It Works. You were blessed with Noelle. You were blessed with just the most amazing thing ever put in your life. But find one good thing, thank God for it, and then start thanking Him for the blessings you're going to receive in 2017. But don't sit on that couch. Get up and put some work in it. I challenged everybody on a call a couple of weeks ago to get 2 more distributors before conference. That's 2 tickets in the drawing. And even go further, get those two people to conference, because I don't care what anybody says. We have never, in my 8 years, this will be 9, going in 9, have we ever been able to bottle up what we get from conference and bring it home. We can come back, but you will never get it. It cannot be bottled. It cannot be brought home. You have to be there live to understand what we're saying about this. And, you know, no matter what you're doing, you have to invest in yourself. If you want a college degree to go get a college job, you've got to invest in college. If you're a doctor, you still got to go invest in the new stuff. If you're a hairdresser, you got to go learn the new styles. Makeup, you got to go learn the new. Okay, conference is a way for you to learn what you need to truly make those goals and those dreams on that dream board come true. And yeah, you can get a little of it if you don't go, but you know, who's coming in here for a little bit? Let's go for the full package, y'all, because it's out there. And you'll be saying, when you stick it out, and you say that my 8th year paid for everything. I cannot believe the work I put in up to 8 years and the life that I'm truly living right now. You will too. So I tell people, if you could make $1 million in 10 years, wouldn't you try? Wouldn't you try? 10 years, $1 million. It won't take you that in this company if you stay focused and you work it like a full-time job and treat it like a multi-million-dollar company. But if you give it 10 years to make $1 million, what else could you do? I worked those other jobs for 10 years, y'all. I went to college. They didn't give me $1 million. This one took me 6 years. But I got people on my team that did it in 2. We've got people made it 3, 4. Who cares? 10 years to make $1 million. Write it down. I will never quit. I will always be here. Noelle will always be my leader, because I'm giving it 10 years to 10 million, and I'm gonna stick it out. Just do that. Give it 10 years for $1 million. You won't take it that long, because when you commit to that, you're going to commit to something more. But it takes that commitment. And that's what Mark's saying. Commit, don't quit. I love it.
That's so good, Tina. And 2016 was my roughest year in the business thus far. And I know for you too, like it was just a rough year emotionally, just family oriented, financially, it was just a rough year. But I think that if we put it into perspective, I mean, we have top money earners, like top 5 money earners making, 25% of what they were making at one point in 2016. If their check can drop that much, and we have diamonds on our team that are getting paid as executives or rubies, and they're still making, maybe they're not making $2,000 a month, but they're making, $300-$400 a month. It just is the cycle of the business, right?
Right.
And unfortunately, I mean, it doesn't always happen, right? I feel like 2016 was an exceptionally rough year, with it being an election year and all of that. But it's really important to focus on the fact that happens in every business, right? That happens in real estate. It happens in retail. It happens, in Jamie's got dog breeding businesses. Like they have their good seasons and their bad seasons, and they have their good years and their bad years. And network marketing, and It Works Global in particular, is not anything different. It just is a business. So when you're in this to run a business, and like you said, commit, don't quit, you commit no matter what your year looks like. You commit no matter what your month looks like. So my question for you, Tina, we had Clara asked, what does working your business look like for you? So if you guys have questions for Tina, please post them in the chat. But I'm curious about that. But I want to know how do you balance, because I feel like so often, especially right now, we are getting ready. I mean, we started this 90-day run and this 90-day push to take our checks from where they are to triple, quadruple what they are right now, and even beyond for some people, which is super, super, super exciting. Like this has historically been the time of year for me. When I originally started, I went from $0 to $6,000 a month. And then the following year, I was getting paid as a diamond that started that year. So for about $3,000 a month to over $10,000 a month. And then the next year, I went from about $10,000 a month to over $25,000 a month. Like it has been the time of the year where you just can explode your check. And this is, that's the ability that you guys have right now at this season of the year. But for those people who are like, I want to grow my check and I need to build something that's sustainable and substantial, but how do I balance that with family life? Like, how do you do that?
I used to say no all the time to my family because I was working my business like so crazy. I was obsessed with it. And then I learned, my kids were growing up pretty quick around me. And I said, okay, no, I'm not going to do that no more. I just turn the phone off. If my kids say, Mom, let's go watch a movie. Now, unless it's a promotion time or a BOGO, because you only have limited time for some things. But you've got to squeeze time in your day for your family. One of the things where a lot of people have a hard time saying, I'm going to sit down and work for that hour. Why don't you just start doing it in 10 to 30-minute increments? Set your phone for, even if it's 10 minutes. And you say, I'm going to work 2 hours on my business today. If you did each one in 10 to 30-minute increments and you set a timer and you sit down and you say, okay, right now I'm going to make posts. I'm going to do my post. I'm going to make some extras. And I'm just going to, for that 10 minutes, I'm going to make post after post after post. You probably are more effectively working your business when you're doing it in smaller increments like that. Because if I just go to my desk and say, okay, so I'm working my business all day today. My problem with that is I'm going to sit at my desk and I'm going to clean my desk off. I'm going to try to get organized. And then by the time I get all that done, then I've got a call that's come through, something's happened, and I totally did not get what I planned to get done for my business. It's gone. But if I did it in 10 minutes, I'm going to stop everything around me. I'm just going to push it aside. I'm going to sit there. I'm going to set me a timer. I'm working for 10 minutes. Or maybe 30 minutes, I'm going to sit here. I'm going to do follow-ups. I'm going to do follow-ups this time. Okay, and then now another 30 minutes, I'm going to come back and I'm going to check on my loyal customers. Right now is the time to be calling all of your loyal customers you've ever had. because people made New Year's resolutions and we've got 2 new packages. Anytime we get something new with the company, whether it's products, packages, or logos, reduced price, that's when you're going to take those minutes and you're going to be calling those customers that you've had before to bring that volume up. Because when we get the people in, and I mean, like myself, I probably through the years maybe have 600 loyal customers through the years. But do we go back and call every one of them? Because lots of times, yeah, it's a bad season to get new people, but it's a good season to call those people you had before and check in with them. And, hey, you did those before. You know what? I should come back and do them again. Hey, I just set my New Year's resolution. I'm wanting to lose 15 pounds. Let's put you on one of these packages. You've been a customer before. So I think that's what you got to do. There are times to say no to your kids, but in many cases, you know, let them know that once you get those 30-minute segments done, I'm going to work for 2 hours today, kids, and I'm going to break it up in 30 minutes so that you'll do it. That's for you, because if you say you're going to work 2 hours, I promise you, you're not going to give you a good 2 hours work, because you're going to find other stuff in between. But then tell them, after we do that, we'll go watch a movie or we'll go do ice cream, and reward your kids that way so they appreciate your business. That was the hardest thing for me in my first years, was my kids hated It Works. They hated the word It Works. Anything I said about It Works, oh, I hate It Works. I can't stand It Works. Well, I did that to them, because when they came and asked to do something, I always said, no, I got to work. No, I got to work. No, I'm doing this for you. But they didn't see that, because I didn't stop and give them the reward too for allowing me the time to work the business. So I think it's very, very important. And, you know, Noelle, there's never a balance. There's never a balance. I was the most organized person before I ever came in It Works. Never missed people's birthdays, never missed anything. And I lost that so much with It Works that I went through a year of just being mad at myself all the time, trying to get back to that. And then I realized, you know what? I used to work for someone else, or I used to be that stay-at-home mom. I had those other positions. When you're working your own business, unless you want to hire you a couple assistants, you will never get the balance. You won't. And you have to learn to let that go, because I used to beat myself up, and then I was more unhappy with my kids and my family, because I never could get that balance, and I was always trying to get it. And I thought if I worked 2 more hours, I would find it, and I never found it, because then the next day all the new stuff comes in. You'll never find that balance. You just got to be happy with what you've got. And once again, I think I said the phrase one time, and It Works printed it: if you don't start thanking God for those little things, He won't give you the big ones. And so when you get 30 minutes of time, thank God and say, hey, that was the most productive 30 minutes I've ever had in my business. Now I'm going to go do something else. You know, now I'm going to do something with the kids. Now I'm going to go put a load of clothes in, and then go back that other 30 and thank Him for that productive 30 minutes and let the other stuff go. Life is too short to not be able to do it all. And to me, God's first, family second, and my business is third. But I try to squeeze that business in there really high up in there with family too. And when you do it right, you get to include your family in with it all the time. And that's really cool. And I know, Noelle, you do that, because many of your family is in the business.
Mm-hmm. They are. That's the best thing about having an amazing opportunity, is that all of my best friends and family are a part of this. So I get to not only get on the phone with them and talk business, but talk relationships and family and kids and everything that looks like. So I love that you said, you know, you were just talking about doing what you can. And I really think that's the best thing we can do, is every day just do the best that you can with what you have. And don't stress yourself out if you did not, like you said, work your business 19 hours that day, because that's not really reasonable. But be thankful for the time that you did have, but not give up completely when you couldn't give it 110%, right? Because I feel like so many people are like, oh, well, if I'm not going to go for diamond, or I'm not going to go for triple diamond, then I'm just not going to do anything. You know, I'm going to post once a week. I'll talk to somebody. If I happen to run into somebody when I'm out blitzing, you know, or when I'm out, I will blitz somebody. And we know that doesn't ever happen by accident. Blitzing is always intentional, because it's a mindset. But, you know, I I don't know, like, I love that you just, just be the best you can with the time that you do have.
Yeah. Because we're all going to be different. I mean, some people work a full-time job and they can only put in so much time. Mm-hmm. And then like us being work from home, I think sometimes even when you come home, it's hard to get disciplined. It's very hard to discipline yourself to say, I'm going to go work those couple hours, because half the time I'm here by myself and there's nobody saying, hey, you need to go to work for 30 minutes. You got to discipline yourself. And some people, I mean, I have a calendar. I pay $1 for my calendar every year at Dollar Tree. Not that I can't afford more, but why go spend $10 for a calendar? It looks the same at Dollar Tree for $1. But I'm all about using that calendar to put who I'm going to meet, my callbacks, I may put their name. When someone comes in, I'll put on there when their 30 days is coming up, because I can't remember all that. And I used to have better organization memory. But once again, you're running a multi-million-dollar company. And, if you want to make over $1,000 a month, 60 loyal customers can do that for you. Over $1,000 a month with 60 loyal customers. But once again, you're running a business with 60 people. So you've got to have something that's going to remind you, I need to call this customer. I need to do this. Special notes for stuff they say. Some of my follow-ups, they'll say, this year's just not my year, but, call me back next year. So I'm already putting at the end of the year who I'm going to call back, who told me, because I'm not going to forget, because it's in my calendar. And that's a good way to say, today I'm doing follow-up with loyal customers. Tomorrow I'm going to follow up with DTs, and put that in your calendar. And then I'd like to take a different color ink pen and check it off that was done, that I really did do it. Because if I didn't do it, I can go back and do it another day, because it's still on my calendar. I didn't finish my job until it gets a check mark. Mm-hmm. So you just have to find ways to do that. And I know coming home and being home all the time and doing my business, I really had to work on discipline, because cleaning the kitchen could always be 100% complete. But getting my desk and all of those callbacks done was never 100% complete. And it was better to pat myself on the back when I got something 100% complete. So I would find myself going, I'm going to clean that kitchen first because I'm patting my back. But to make it back to the desk, I wouldn't. So it is a huge discipline. And just always put it in your mind. I am running $1 million company. I've got to work this business like I am the CEO, and it is going to be in the Inc. 500 every year. My personal business is going to be in that Inc. 500. I'm going to run my business like that.
That's so good. Okay, so what did you do? So Clara says, what did you do? How did you push through when Bubba wasn't on board, when your husband wasn't on board? Because so many people allow themselves to fail because their husband isn't supportive. They give up, or they will drop their business.
And I think sometimes that's a personality change. If you're a yellow, you're going to have to get some red. I mean, you really are, because yellows will, whatever, they're just going to stick with what hubby says. So for one thing, you have to want it so bad that red's going to come out, that I'm not going to lose this no matter what he says. I was very stubborn. But I think the biggest way I made it through his negative, now I'm not going to tell you I didn't cry myself to sleep many nights. And there was just times where I really could see myself quitting because it was so painful. I don't know how they can say some of the words they say, and I don't even think they mean to say it, but you're so excited and they're so down and they're like, no way. And it hurts. And it's like someone taking an arrow and just hitting you right there. So there was a lot of tears shed through this. But the biggest way and the quickest way, and y'all can do it quicker because there's so many ways for you to put a plan in front of you, but is to show them the check. Until Bubba really saw that check coming in, and there was times where it hurt him because the check got so good. And I know that sounds crazy, but he was still hanging on to a business he had 20-something years. Ooh. And when my check started getting bigger than he was coming in with, that hurt. Because he had been raised to be the one that took care of the family, the one that made the money, the one that supported us in every way. And I started taking over that. So I will tell y'all that, because if you don't understand that and they get depressed, I mean, he went through a depression with that. Like, he could be the loser because he was not succeeding in what he had stuck to. So just know, if you go quick and you make a lot of money, be supportive with that. But the money is what's going to make them open their eyes, because they're like every next door neighbor, friend, cousin, everybody out there that has such disbelief in this. Most people, I was that negative one. I said it was a pyramid scheme. Don't talk to me. I would never do any of those kind of businesses. So I was that negative one, which made me understand more when people were so negative. So they're going to do that to you. They're going to be on the negative side. You've got to turn them. Don't push them. Don't get angry. That's the worst thing you could do. More fights were caused in my household because I would try to do that push. Don't do that. When he didn't show up to get on that bus, my whole heart was broken. I was mad. I was angry. I was ready to leave him. But, you know, it hit me in my mind as I was going there, and I had to do something to get it off my mind. I'm going to conference. I've got to clear my mind. I actually promoted Triple Diamond during that trip going there. But in my mind, I just had to keep saying, it's not his time and he's not ready yet. And you have to say that no matter who it is. You can't get angry because you're going to make it worse. You might even lose more time because you got angry. So just keep saying it's not their time. They're not ready yet. You keep pushing forward. You make the money. Let them see the money. No matter if it's a spouse, it may be a family member. And then eventually just keep, dropping these little, things about, wow, I wish you could go with me. Even if it's conference, say, hey, you could go with me. We could actually go a couple of days early and go do this. You got to add some fun into it because they don't see the fun that you see yet. So keep adding the fun to it. I remember the year I finally got Bubba to conference. I was like, I have rented us this awesome room, honey. It's just me and you, because I've been sleeping in everybody else's room all those years I've been going. And, I've done all this. I think I had actually won a limo with Pound Souter, so he didn't know who Pound Souter was. So I didn't say, I'm just like, I've got us a limo ride to this party, and I made it so sound good just to get him there. And y'all, then he realized the fun was really there without all the extras. But you may have to do that extra thing. And always, they call them honeydews. If you're trying to get him to a meeting or to something to finally see it, you're the one that's going to do the honeydews. Honey, can I get you a glass of water? Honey, can I make you a cake? Honey, you do that, because you got to sweeten the pot sometimes to get them there. But once they finally get there, it's all been worth it. So
if you're my husband, you need oatmeal scotchies, and I make them for other people and not him, and he gets the leftovers. I'm like, you can have the broken pieces. He's like, thanks, babe. That's I baked. Be thankful.
Yes.
But I mean, it really, there's not many people that have a lot of red. We have a lot of yellows and a lot of blues, and having your husband tell you that he doesn't believe in you, or he wants you to give up, or you're spending too much money because you're not making enough money, that hurts. That hurts anybody. But if you don't have that strong enough personality, it will knock you down. And so what I had to do, and I'm very, very red, but I'm more red now than when I started. But when I first started, I was a ruby, and I had looked at the diamond chart, and I told my husband, I said, I am going to go after that $10,000 bonus. And I had about 6 weeks to do it, maybe 5 or 6 weeks to do it. And he was like, that's impossible. You're never going to do it. And I did not say anything to him. But what I did do is I called my sponsor, and I connected with her, and she was like, oh girl, we're going to do this. Like, she was going for it. I was going for it. We were doing it together. And so I didn't let that knock me down, because I had a friend there doing it with me. So if you guys do have a husband like that, just walk away and call a friend, call somebody in the business who understands what you're doing and who understands why you're doing it, because they're going to be there to be your cheerleader. Your husband is usually going to be the last person to get on board, because they don't have a brain cell for network marketing until they get to an event. They really have to get to a big event, and they have to have a butt in the chair. They can't be on the outside. They can't be watching live stream. They can't just be coming to hang out with the guys. That all helps. They need to be in that room. They need to feel that energy. So if you guys have the option to get your husband a conference, get him there. Like really, really get him there, because it will change your relationship, because he will be supportive of you and your business is just going to go further.
Truly agree.
Okay.
I mean, till my butt was in that chair, I didn't get it either, because I had never done network marketing. And then every year it even changed more by getting there every single year. And I'm so pumped about this year. Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
I cannot wait. Mark never disappoints ever. No. And I just can't. Oh my gosh. I can't. I just can't even. I'm so excited. Even what he put out about the dream boards. You guys, you missed the announcement. Hopefully you didn't. For every distributor you enroll in January, you get an entry, and Mark is going to draw people who grant a wish for the dream board. Like, that's absolutely amazing. Hold on just a second. I've got to mute somebody. I have a question for you, Tina, while I'm doing that. Okay. Sarah says, how do you handle those on your team who are excited the first part of the month, but then they fall off after the first week and just truly don't work?
You know what? You can't make anybody do anything. And still 9 years almost in this, I can't even pick and choose who's going to be good ones. You know, the ones that come in and say, I'm going to make you $1 million. They're the ones that I'm not going to find at the end of the month. They talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. You know, all that you can do, I never delete anybody from group text. So I'm always still, until they tell me to leave them alone forever, I'm not going to get rid of them. I cannot drag everybody as you grow. There's too many people on your team. You can't do it. So you just have to always, like I said, Noelle's hand's always out, but she cannot go chase you down. You can't either as your team starts growing. When you're small, run as quick as you can, because you can make diamond in 1 year, and those people who came in that still quit are still a distributor of yours unless they canceled that account. And when it comes to charting, if they're still in legally, they're still on your chart, and you can make diamond even though they're not doing anything. And we can show you that as you get there. But all that you can do is just lead by example. Always be there for them. I say sometimes you need to mix it up a little bit. If you've got people in your hometown, you know, do things. Go see a movie, because so many movies are what we do. You know, like Secretariat. Oh my goodness, she had everything piled against her, and she went on and did it anyway and was the biggest success. So do things like that. Sometimes you got to get out of that. I want to say that it works work mode, but you're still in the work mode when you're watching that movie, because you walk away and go, gosh, that's us. Do y'all feel that? And then that fire just reignites. So sometimes, the new movie Founder, I've not seen that one yet. Bubba,
that's coming out January 20th.
Bubba just come in with a movie January the 20th.
It's the founder of McDonald's and how he started.
Did y'all hear that? The founder of McDonald's? That will be a good one.
I'm going to put that on my list of things to do with my team.
I love that. January the 20th, y'all. We'll all be at the movie.
Tell Bubba we want to say hi.
Okay. Bubba, when you come back in here, they want to say hi to you. It's Noelle and her team. He just walked in the door.
Okay.
But, you know, mix it up a little bit if it's local people. You can't always, you're actually not even their boss. I know we get in boss mode because that's what they want, but you're not their boss. You know, so you got to show them that this is work, but then you got to show them the fun in it too. So sometimes it'll allow you to keep them longer, but let me tell you, they'll still leave. They will leave, and there's nothing you can do. Just get over it and go get another one. You know, if you're constantly replacing people, you're filling the gap before they're even gone anyway. And there's just really nothing that you can do any different. As long as you're working your business 100%, they're going to follow you if that's what they're going to do anyway. So just keep doing what you're doing. You know, what's Cindy say? We pray them in, we pray them out. Who knows? They may still be back the next month. And when they see you make a $10,000 bonus, they're all going to be back.
Hey, Bubba.
What's going on, gorgeous?
How are you?
I'm making it through the holidays. I'm
Oh,
ready for the new year.
yes, we all are. So, hey, we were just asking Tina the husband question. So, any tips for wives out there who have an unsupportive spouse or who think that they spend too much money when they're not making any yet?
You know, I didn't believe in her for a long time, and you know, I think they'll come around. They don't see the networking part of it. And it's such a transition for a man that's been working all his years. It's so hard for him to focus on I don't know, the social media. You know, we used to, Tina started, it was basically belly to belly every time we went somewhere. And it's hard, but it also, when the husband becomes a product of the product, I was telling you all this stuff. Oh, Dr. Don says this and does that, and it works. And you start doing the products and you're like, hey, this is okay. And then you get to a conference, or you get to a one team, one mission, or you go to a meeting. You just kind of come around, you know, and I think the biggest part of it is we're just, we're rock solid. We don't need all that stuff. And what you're doing is nonsense. I mean, it really, that's the way some guys think about it, especially blue collar guys. Mm-hmm. But once you get into it and you start seeing the money flow, that's when you start waking up. You know, it woke us up, and, you know, I feel like we tell this story 1,000 times about losing everything, and not everything, but gradually letting go of stuff that we wanted to do in our dreams, and, you know, later on. And we started seeing the progress and the belief and the support from the husbands and the wives, you know, that they all started coming back together. And it's still a huge transition from where I've been, going on 8 years for me, Tina. And
well, it would be and 7 years for you and 9 for me.
Yeah, you'll be 10 in February.
No, it'll be 9.
Okay, you'll be 9 years old in February. You act 9 years old sometimes. But no, I don't know, they just have to, as Mark would say, put your blinders on and just stay focused. And Tina did that. She didn't care what I said because she knew what she had her hands on. Mm. And y'all know what you got your hands on. And the husband, you know, I don't know. Every guy's different. Some are mean, some are nice, or some are just like, you know, whatever, you know. But it's a powerful, very powerful, one-of-a-kind product. Very powerful, one-of-a-kind compensation plan. One-of-a-kind, very powerful giving back to the people that are working the business. How many people do that in this world today? You know, when I was painting and I was doing so good, if people would give that stuff back to me as much heart as I put into it and gave me bonuses and stuff, which I never had, I just had a passion for what I did. You don't have that. And I think that we, the people, we're just kind of like, they expect things to be handed, just put in their lap. When somebody puts something like It Works in your lap and gives you that folder and gives you that e-suite and the compensation plan and all the monies and all the math and all that stuff that goes into it, if they realized it, they would go all in. They would, because they know that the other person's not going to be stabbing them in the back. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's a harsh word to me, but it's just something that we got our hands on right now, and we just don't need to get discouraged. You know, if it rains, if it snows, if we have a tornado, you know, catastrophic things happen. And that's another thing I love about the company is we help each other out, and we go other places and help each other. You know, and, you know, the husbands, they just, I don't know. It's another it's transition. How do we handle transition? You know?
Doesn't it help because you're friends now with so many It Works spouses? I mean, they kind of built together, you know?
Yeah, it's a relationship.
Yeah, the relationships that's been built. That would help some of them is to, you know, get couples together. Mm-hmm. And do a couple things.
Yeah, and you know, and years ago, 3, 4, 5 years ago, when Chad Drury got in, you know, we're trying to run everywhere, And I so agree with a three-way call. You know, if you could get people on a three-way call and have your husband on there with you and, you know, to talk to another person, I think it's pretty powerful. It may be one word, maybe one, you know, sentence or whatever that they connect with. And that person, you know, it's, I don't know. I think God's got a lot to do with it too. You know, he'll throw some people in there that's, you know, that it's like, Tina's like, I just need one more person to cross my path, you know, and boom, it would happen.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Guys are difficult. Guys are difficult.
At least
You're all difficult. We love you though.
So are y'all. But,
I know we are. We're pains in the butt. It's true, but you love it.
well, see, I, you know, totally, Nicole, I feel left out from where we started and the way the business is right now and how we were, I mean, how 2 years later when she started, I felt left out. You know, after about, I don't know, probably 5 years into it because of the social media part. Those things like that are powerful. They're money building businesses. And I don't know how to do that kind of stuff. And that's basically where me and Tina fell off. It's because we quit going from belly to belly, which she still does and I still do, to the social media part. It's confusing. It's sometimes it's a little cruel, and you know how people speak out and do things. Y'all know all that stuff. I don't. I stay away from it. But I watch people growing every day and just building their business. But I also watch their business fall down. They get a burst, and then they just explode and make all this money, and then they just go downhill. You know, I don't understand that other than they're not going belly to belly and building a foundation on their business.
building relationships. We see a lot of that where people don't build relationships.
Yeah, you can't make everybody happy by no means. You got green and all the color things that y'all talk about. But, Tina's so red, it's not even funny. I can't believe that we live in the same house. It's terrible. She's so red.
I'm not as bad as I used to be.
What am I? Blue, yellow, both?
You're yellow and blue, yeah.
Yellow and blue. Jeree said I was a rainbow.
Well, you're yellow. And
Depends
then
on
you're
my
blue.
hands-on experience, you know.
But that completes our business. When we figured out those colors like that, that helped our business because there was not much yellow in me at all. And so there were times where the arguments were going on and Bubba could get in there and settle it and break it up. And I know Chad's like that with Jeree too. If you have a spouse that's a totally different color and you utilize it in that way, it helped our business a whole lot. Yeah.
I don't have that. My husband's the same personality as me. We're just in trouble.
Oh, bless your heart.
Is Dusty? What is Dusty? Red?
He's a red-green, just like me. Our poor children. No, we're yellow to our children.
You got Thank God for the children, right?
Yeah, thank God for the children.
You gotta have some blue in there for fun, right?
Oh, I'm blue. He's like negative blue, but that's okay.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. You know, another thing, you know, we went down to that cruise, and you know, Tina used to do shows and stuff like that. She'd come back so excited. You know, she got away from an area, and I'm just not going to say a county or a state or anything like that, but she got away from her comfort zone and she got out and did a different area. And we went on that cruise, and then we had a day and a half before we got on the cruise boat in South Beach, and we got to see a different walk of life. And different international people, different people from all over the United States. And we came in contact with them, but really we didn't push ourselves on them. You know, they just we just a casual conversation, and you felt comfortable with them. We went on the cruise and we came back and we stayed in Miami. We put our suitcases at the marina at a restaurant from like 11 o'clock until 7 o'clock. And the waiter, he was a younger guy. That's when the election was going on. It was the day that the election started. And he was from Georgia. And I was like, man, I'm taking up your space. He said, no, man. He says, he said, I wish y'all just stay here all day long. And I said, how about if we just do? He says, I don't care. I'll watch your suitcases. But, you know, we had such a good time, and we just gave ourselves to people. Tina invited 2 elderly ladies. They were full to sit with us, you know, and that's kind of how we roll, you know, and not just throwing up on them, as Pam would say, but just getting to know them and then dropping them a card or you know, just wishing them the best of luck and stuff like that. That goes a long ways to me. Social media, I probably would have passed up 25 people that day just talking to one old lady. You know, and you do that. I mean, that's just how I am. We're not making money doing that, but
well, we are, because that's how we build our business. That's how we meet people.
It's like everybody says, you know, they're still watching you, but I'm like, you get impatient, you know, microwave society, get impatient. It's like, come on, join me now. And I think
Cammie says that best. She says, if you looked at all of the distributors out there and the people who are putting massive numbers in, you know, here's Cammie, or a person putting 20 in, she might put 2 in. And I always wondered about that, even whenever we had contests, because the time that I put 46 distributors in 1 month, she put 4. And I couldn't figure that out because that was a contest. But, you know, I never could figure that out in the beginning, because I was just like, run, put them in, and I'd lose a bunch, and I'd be depressed, and the next month I'd be worn out. Cammie would put 4 in over my 46, but 4 was easy to maintain. So she was building her 4 to higher levels, where I was sitting here spinning my wheels with 46. So it's not always the masses you put in.
You should have put them people in, and then let Cammie train them and do all that stuff.
we didn't have communication back then, but we didn't have a plan to work with them either. But sometimes people beat themselves up because they're trying to hit those massive numbers like some other recruiting people. And it's not the masses that get you there. The thing with putting the masses in, you may be losing a whole lot more than these others, because 4, you can have more contact. You can do more fun things with. You can build the relationship. And, you know, and that is the thing that is the biggest, is building a relationship. So my 46, most of them didn't stay. Only 1 out of 46 stayed. But Cammie's 4 are the ones that still on her top levels right now. So it's something to always think about. If you're beating yourself up because you don't have them, just two can take you to millions. 2 people can make you millions of dollars, because it only takes 2 for you to maintain your ambassador and to maintain the numbers you need. It takes 5 to get there, but it takes 2.
But another thing is, you got to, like Mike said, you know, you got to jump the funk. You know, if you're sitting in a stagnant area, which doesn't mean it's stagnant, it's just that everybody has their seasonal things going on. You got football going on, you got all that stuff going on. And but if you get out, I mean, we used to drive to Florida every year, and we didn't miss green carpet, nothing. We just take off and go. And you're surrounded by all these people. Without your social media, it's all verbiage and hands-on meeting and stuff. But once you get outside of an hour or 2, unlock the ball and chain, as I say, and go out and just drive, go to a mountain, go to a lake, go to a city square, go somewhere and have fun. Once you get away from the house and you start meeting people, and you're like, God, there's a lot of people out here, and these people hadn't heard about it. These people don't do social media. You know, a lot of them don't, and they don't keep up with what we do. But you can get a contact or something. But it's so refreshing, and those people that you meet that don't want anything to do with what you got, but they want your card. It's so refreshing. It's refreshing. It's like I don't know. It's a breath of fresh air. It's clean water, and you got to meet somebody, and you remember them. You know, and once you just step outside, I wouldn't even call it comfort zone, because I could just go out there and talk to anybody. But when you talk to somebody different and quit surrounding yourself with the same people, the same group all the time, and you go out and get away from me, I love you, I'll see you next week, we're going to have dinner, but I'm going to go talk to somebody different. That's what you got to do, that freshness. I mean, it's good energy. It's like I used to have guys working for me, and I used to put up with these guys forever, some of them. And I would try to help them, and I would try to, you know, give them the benefit of the doubt and all that, until they finally, I couldn't tell somebody unless they really got me pissed off. I'd say, you know, leave. But I would put up with them, and I felt for them. But when they left, it was like a whole new opening for me. They're gone. They're absolutely gone, and I can get somebody else, and then they come in, and you start another chapter. Yeah. I think that's what this is about. You just got to keep doing that. But I don't know how to keep up with everybody on social media. I just do it right here. You and me, poking you on the nose.
I don't have any people she's got on, so it's not just you and Noelle.
I don't know how to do that stuff.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Bubba. Tina and Bubba, I love that you guys build your business belly to belly, because ultimately this is a relationship business. So like you said, it's the quality over quantity. You know, you passed up 20 people to talk to one lady, but that one lady is probably somebody you guys are going to remember. She's going to remember you, and you left a positive feeling with her. And I think that that's what we are here to do, is to leave positive energy with people, right? To leave them feeling refreshed and happy and fulfilled and excited, instead of annoyed and sold to and bothered. And, you know, it's just, we're here to leave people feeling better than they came.
Right. And we got the products to do it. I mean, it'll change somebody's life somewhere down the road. It's going to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just be a product of the product.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, thank you guys so much for kicking off our 2017.
Here's for Dusty. Give us Dusty.
You'll see Dusty in.
That's for you.
6 weeks.
See you.
6 weeks. Woo! I'm ready. I'm so ready. I'll look better than that there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much, Tina. And if you guys do not follow Tina Hatcliff, you need to, and she does. She is our upline. So she has a call every Sunday night at 9:00 Eastern. So if you guys are not tuning into that call, make sure you're getting on her call. I always post the information in my chats. So thank you so much, Tina, for taking the time to sew into our team today. We love you.
Yeah. Bye, y'all.
Bye, guys.